Today we are going to start the seventh, that is packing. The other poem, No Men Are Foreign, already had come to you, and the test paper will be again conducting on my childhood. Understood? So get ready for that. Now we come to the next lesson, packing. This particular lesson is concerned about the four great friends, three actually, and one is their pet dog. So like that, four going for a journey. And before every journey we make preparation, isn't it? How do we make preparations? We have to find first packing, isn't it? Packing is the great thing. If we are going for a long journey, 4 or 5 days journey also, what we have to do? We have to prepare for that. So firstly we have to pack our things. What are things we needed for the journey, and we have to see according to the climate we have to pack our dresses also, isn't it? So moving from one place to the another means there are many things what we have to understand, isn't it? So now in this lesson we are coming to know about the packing, how these four friends have started packing for their journey. So this text that means packing. There is a novel, Three Men in a Boat. So that from that it has taken a small part of that is being taken under the topic packing. Understood? Under the topic packing. Now we will see how the packing is being done by these boys, especially they are boys, and how they have been started packing, and who is an expert in the packing also. That also we will come to know who is the expert in the packing. Okay. Do you like going on trips? Everybody likes going on trips, isn't it? That means all the time remaining in one place, it is a great boring. So everybody naturally, everybody likes to move from their place and see the outside world. The outside world here refers to the hometown, your hometown, isn't it? That means where is your home, that area. Other than that area, you like to go to many other places, isn't it? And especially to a long distance, it is much different. Yes or no? Yes, it is much different. What kind of trips do you enjoy most? So that is all left to you. What kind of adventurous or thrilling or trekking, everything comes under that, isn't it? If you are going to the hilly area or the mountain areas, trekking is the most important thing, isn't it? Or climbing mountain climbing. So those who are good in that, they find places of such areas, isn't it? Then those some are only fascinated with the nature beauty of nature, isn't it? Seeing different kinds of birds and trees and animals. So in that case we like to move to a place of plain area or a forest region, isn't it? So there are many kinds of taste according to the tour, isn't it? How do you feel about having to pack for a trip? So how it will be very interesting when the news comes to you that we are going for a trip. The first thing is you make up your mind filled with that only, isn't it? For 2-3 days, the whole mind will be getting ready for the journey, isn't it? That means what all things you have to take, what all things I have to buy from there, or how I have to look myself while going to a certain place. So without preparation, nobody can move from one area to another. For everything we need a well-planned preparation, isn't it? Have you ever discovered on a trip that you have forgotten to pack a few things you very much needed, or that you can't find them easily? So it also happens. That means after packing and then moving to the place, sometimes one or two things will be missing also, because we may be keeping all the things ready for that, but at the last moment may be left over, isn't it? So when reaching the place only we will come to know that certain things are being not taken. So the feeling how do you feel at that particular moment is far different, isn't it? We cannot say whether it is sad or angry or whatever it is, isn't it? Does this make you angry or does it make you laugh to yourself? So now in this lesson we are coming to know for a trip, how are the boys packing their, getting ready for packing, and who is the one who is good in packing. Okay, now understood the outline, total outline you got. Okay, now we go to the lesson. I said I would pack. Here I refers to the author Jerome K. Jerome. I is who? Now Jerome K. Jerome. Understood? He is the author of this lesson. He himself is narrating the incident, what had happened while they were preparing for a journey. Jerome K. Jerome. Jerome K. Jerome. So the extract is from Three Men in a Boat. This is the name of the novel. About 2 years back, 10th standard students, they had this text, Three Men in a Boat, as a supplementary. So in that text, the journey, about the journey only, say little bit briefly it was given. Understood? So if you find the text, Three Men in a Boat, it is very interesting. Try to read it. Did you hear, all of you? Those students may be having the text with them. Understood? Okay, now we will go. So I is, who is the I? Jerome K. Jerome. He is the author. I rather pride myself on my packing. So he himself is saying, I am an expert in what? Packing. So I am proud of myself that I am a good expert in packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than any other person living. That means he himself is praising himself, saying that nobody can be compared with me in the case of packing. That means that much expert I am. I impressed with the fact upon George and Harris. So who are the other two? George and Harris. So now who are the ones? Jerome, then George, and then Harris. These are the three ones getting ready for the journey. Now one more is there. Yes. Now while reading, we will come to know who is the fourth one. And I told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. So I asked George and Harris to move away and will pack all the things for everybody. They fell into the suggestion with a readiness that had something uncanny about it. So they, uncanny means strange. So they thought, okay, now you do the work. We will sit there, isn't it? So it is an easy way that one is doing the work and other two are going to enjoy themselves. George spread himself over the easy chair. What did George do? He went to the and laid on the easy chair. Easy chair? Charivasara. And Harris propped her legs on the table. And Harris also was sitting on the table, putting his legs on the table. So they both moved to one side. And now who is getting ready for packing? Jerome. Because he himself is saying that he is an expert in doing that work when compared to who are George and Harris. Understood now? This was hardly what I intended. So this is what he wanted. Let them sit aside and I will do the work. What I had meant, of course, was that I should boast the job and that Harris and George should potter about like a leader, like a boss. Pushing them aside every now and then with, oh you, here let me do it. There you are simple enough, really teaching them as you might say. So he wanted the other two to be along with him, not for packing, just as the helpers, bringing the things whatever he asked for. They have to get ready with those things and they have to be with him, isn't it? And the whole thing, who will be doing? He will be doing. So only for that he needed the help of whom? Hans and George. Oh you, here let me do it. There you are, simple enough, really teaching them as you might say. They are taking it in the way they did irritated me. There is nothing that irritates one more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working. So when he, at the same time, he did not want the other two also to sit aside and enjoy themselves without doing things. That also irritates him. He doesn't feel good that when he is totally doing the work, the other two are sitting and relaxing. So he wanted them also to join in the packing. But he will not allow them to pack. The whole packing is being done by himself. They are only the helpers for him. I lived with a man once who used, now he is saying one or two incidents what had happened. I lived with a man once who used to make me mad that way. That means when I am doing the work, sitting and enjoying. He would loll on the sofa. He was lying. Loll means to lie. Loll. To lie down. And watch me doing things by the hour together. Means just relaxing on the sofa and watching at me or doing the things. He said it did him real good to look on at me messing about. That means he was enjoying at looking at me. Now I am not like that. I can't sit and see another man slaving and working. I want to get up and superintend. Superintend means be the boss or the leader. And walk around with my hands in my pockets and tell him what to do. It is my energetic nature. I can't help it. That means I want to keep my hands in the back and go around and make those two do the work. Understood now? However, I did not say anything but started the packing. But these are things he wanted to say to whom? George and Harris. But he did not say anything. Just he continued his work. What is the work he is doing? Yes, packing. But started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be. But I got the bag finished at last and I sat on it and started. So firstly he thought packing is a great thing. It needs a lot of time. But that much time he did not have. Within short time he had filled that bag and striped it. Ain't you going to put the boots in? Said Harris. Aren't you going to put the boots in? So what is being left out? Boots are outside. It is not being packed. And I looked around and found I had forgotten them. That is just like Harris. He could not have said a word until I had got the bag shut and strapped. Of course, and George laughed. One of those irritating senseless laughs of his. They do make me so wild. Wild means making me angry. Wild. To get angry. So why did he feel angry? Because when he had put all the things and packed and he had strapped the bag also, at that time Iris was shouting, what is outside? Boots are left outside. So up to then, who did not speak? George or Harris did not speak anything. Only after when the bag is strapped, what did he say? oh, one thing is left outside. So now what did Jerome has to do? He has to open it, isn't it? In order to keep the boots inside, he has to open the bag. So he got very angry. He opened the bag and packed the boots in. So what did he do? He just opened the bag and put the boots in. And then just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I have packed my toothbrush. So what did he thought? First boots, isn't it? Now, this is a thing many of us also forget, isn't it? We also forget because all the things will be kept ready, but this thing mainly we also forget. Once after starting the journey only, we will remember, isn't it? Similarly, so now the bag is being opened again and he put the boots inside and suddenly he was thinking whether he had placed the toothbrush inside, he had packed it or not. He was having a doubt. My toothbrush is a thing that haunts me when I am traveling and makes my life a misery. So it is not the first time. Throughout his journey, this toothbrush is a problem for him because many times this is not being included in the packing items. I dreamed that I haven't packed it, so he thought it is not there. And wake up in the cold perspiration and get out of bed and hunt for it. And in the morning, pack it before I have used it and have to unpack again to get it. Always the last thing I turn out of the bag and then I repack and forget it. And had to rush upstairs for it at the last moment, carry it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket and everything. So throughout the journey, what is being forgetting about the toothbrush? Many times in his journey he had forgotten about placing the toothbrush. So before brushing, if you put the toothbrush inside the bag, which has to be taken for the journey, what we will do? We will not be able to brush, isn't it? So we will keep it outside. And once after packing everything, if we remember, we will go and take it and put it inside. So many times, Jerome had taken the brush in his pocket to the railway station because there was no time to open the bag and put it inside. So that incident also had happened in the life of whom? Jerome. Okay, Jerome. So now, when the boots was outside, he first remembered about his toothbrush, whether it is been packed or not. Of course, I had to turn every mortal things out now. Of course, I could not find it. Then now, so now the bag is being closed, everything is packed. So in order to find the toothbrush, what he has to do? He has to take out all the things from the bag to find whether the toothbrush is inside or not. I rummaged the things up into much a small state that they must have been before the world was created and when chaos resided. So now what did he do? He took out all the things and left on the ground like a full of confusion. Of course, I found George and Harry's 18 times over. So in between, while taking out the things, he found the toothbrush of George and Harry's. So whom he did not get his own. His own he did not get. In between, he found George's and Harry's toothbrush. I put things back one by one and held everything up and shook it. Then I found it inside a boot. I repacked once again. Then all things I had taken and started shaking it so that we also will do, isn't it? To find out whether everything had gone inside something. So while shaking each and everything, it had fallen from a boot. Up to then, where was the boot? The boot was outside. That time he did not come to know the toothbrush was inside. He packed inside and then taking out all the things, he did not find himself. And finally when shaken, what had happened? The toothbrush came out of a boot. So this is natural when we start packing, isn't it? Like a comedy only, isn't it? When I had finished. Okay, now about the toothbrush, now clear. The boots are there. So now again everything is packed inside and strapped. George asked if the soap was in. So again next coming asking whether we had placed soap. He had placed the soap. I said I did not care a hand whether the soap was in or whether it was in, and I slammed the bag shut and strapped it and found that I had packed my spectacles in it and had to reopen it. So what had happened? He got angry. He said, I don't know whether we had put the soap inside or not. And what did he do? With that angry mood, he put all the things inside and strapped it. After strapping only, he found that he had put his spectacles also inside. He had placed the spectacles also inside. I had packed my spectacles in it. And so now he had to open it again, isn't it? So how many times? First step, everything was packed and then boots was left outside, so it was reopened. Then that time again he thought about the toothbrush and then also it was reopened. Now soap he did not reopen, but what was put inside? Spectacles. He thought that his spectacles are inside. So now again he has to open the bag. I got shut up finally at 5 p.m. So what's the time now? 10 past 5 p.m. So in the night they are doing all this, understood? And then they remind the Ambrose to do. Again there are many things to complete. Harry said that he should be wanting to start with less than 12 hours time and thought that he and George had better do the rest, and agreed and I sat down and they had to do. So what did George say? Now again we will do the remaining work, you take a rest. So that was a great thing for Jerome also, because he got fully tired, isn't it? And then now the work was taken over by Iris and George. They began in a light-hearted spirit, evidently intending to show me how to do it. So they also wanted to show Jerome that they are good in packing, isn't it? So slowly they started their work. No comment, I only waited. So he was just watching them. With the exception of George, Harris is the worst packer in the world. So as far as Harris is concerned, he do not know anything about packing. He is the worst packer. And I looked at the piles of plates and cups and kettles and bottles, jars and pies and stoves and cakes and tomatoes. Felt that the thing would soon become exciting. So now all the food items, other things are being packed. Now what is being left outside? All the food items including tomatoes. Everything is there which has to be packed. Understood? It did. They started with breaking a cup. First one, what happened? Cup broken. That was the first thing they did. They did that just to show you what they could do and to get you interested. Then Harris packed the strawberry jam on top of a tomato and squished it. And they had to pick out the tomato with a teaspoon. And nextly, pack the strawberry jam on top of tomato. As a result, what happened to the tomato? It squeezed off. And now with the help of the spoon, they have to take it up. See the trouble what they are doing. Smashing up everything. And then it was George's turn and he tore on the butter. I didn't say anything, but I came over and sat on the edge of the table and watched them. See, sitting and watching, and now they are being packing the things. irritated them more than anything I could have said. I felt that it made them nervous and excited. And they stepped on things and put things behind them. So they started jumping over all the things and smashing each and everything. And stepped on things and put things behind them and then couldn't find them when they wanted them. Back to the pies at the bottom and put heavy things on top and smash the pies, and then in the back the soft things, pie, tomato, everything is being placed at the top, bottom, and over it they started filling with the heavy things. And what will be the result? You can think about soft peas and tomatoes will get squished off, isn't it? So this is how Harris and George started packing. They upset salt over everything. Then they upset means they put salt over the lid and it was spread out everything. And as for the butter, I never saw two men do more than 1 and 2 pence worth of butter in my whole life than they did. After George had got it off his slipper, so the butter was stuck on his slipper. They tied it to put it in a kettle. They thought it can be placed inside a kettle. It won't go in, and what was in couldn't come out, and it was not going inside properly, and they pushed it out, but it was difficult for them to take it out. They did scrap it out at last and put it down on the chair. Then slowly they started taking out the butter and placed it on the chair. And Harry sat on it and sat on top of the butter. Oh, Harris. And he stuck on him and at his back. What is being stuck? Butter. And they went looking in for it all around. So butter, where is the butter now? Back of Harris. And they did not come to know where is the butter. They went in search of butter. See the funny things they are doing and how much we will be laughing if we have there, isn't it? Do we laugh or not? Yes. I will take my vote. I put it down on that chair, said George, staring at the empty seat. So he knows that from the bag he had taken and placed from the kettle, he had taken that butter and placed it on the chair. So he is saying, I placed it here only. I saw you do it myself not a minute ago. So Harris also agreed. Yes, I saw you putting on the chair. But now they don't know where it is. Actually, where it is? Back of Harris. Then they started on the road again looking for it. And then they met again in the center and stared at one another. Most extraordinary thing I ever heard of, said George. So mysterious. So it is like a magic, isn't it? Don't know, within a short time, where did it have gone? Then George got round at the back of Harris' answer. So George went around the Harris and he found that butter on his back. Why? Here it is all the time he spent. So he said, we were spending a lot of time in search of butter, and there is a butter now at the back of Harris. Where's the Harris spinning down? Stand still, can't you? Flying after, and they got it off and packed it in a teapot. So taking out from there and put it in the teapot. Montmorency. Who is the next one? Here we have seen 3 and the 4th character is Montmorency. It is a dog. Montmorency is their dog. So 3 boys and their dog. That is how 4 are there. But 3 men only is been mentioned. Understood? Montmorency's ambition in life is to get in the way and disorder. So Montmorency, the dog, also wanted to enjoy in the packing. If he can swim in anywhere where he particularly is not wanted, be a perfect nuisance and make people mad and have things thrown at his head, then he feels that day has not been wasted. That when packing, he comes in between and take and jump over all the things, and we have to put him out by throwing things on his head. Then he run away. Understood now? See, you can see in this picture the dog. To get somebody to stumble over him and curse him steadily for an hour is his highest aim, an object, and when he has succeeded in accomplishing this, conceit becomes quite unbearable. So everywhere he put his nose and they disturbs them, and a blow has to be given to him. So only that thing who need Montmorency going and interfering in their matters. Understood? Always, what a dog can do in that packing? Can a dog do anything in the packing? No, isn't it? Only becoming a nuisance. He came and sat down on things. What did that dog Montmorency do? He started sitting on top of the things. Just when they were wanted to be packed, and he labored under the fixed belief that whenever Harris and George reached out their hand for anything, it was his cold, damp nose that they wanted. So when they are going to take the things from there, from where Montmorency is sitting, he used to poke them with his nose. He put his legs into the jam and he worried the teaspoons and pretended them the lemons. He started playing with the teaspoons and got into the hamper and he killed the 3 of them before Harris could land him with the frying pan. So he started destroying the teaspoons. He started playing it, considering them as rat. He started playing. You have seen dogs play with small things, isn't it? When we throw things to them, they start playing with it, isn't it? Similarly, with the teaspoons, he started playing, and in order to make him go away, things has to be thrown to him. Harry said, I encouraged him. I did not encourage him. A dog like that doesn't want any encouragement. It is a natural thing of a dog. It is a natural, original sin that is born in him that makes him do things like that. So it is a habit of the dog to mingle with all these things, naughty things. The packing was done at 12:50. So for the first packing was at 10:05. Then all the eatable things were left, and now the whole thing was packed for at 12:50 p.m. And Harry sat on a big hamper and said he hoped nothing would be found broken. So now he thought he was tired and he thought that now everything is okay. George said that if anything was broken, it was broken, which reflection seemed to comfort him. He said, okay, if anything is broken, let it be like that. He also said he was ready for bed. Now they wanted to go for bed. We were all ready for bed. So the 3 of them decided now they will go for bed, because as far as the time is also too late, they had packed everything, isn't it? Harris was to sleep with us that night and we went upstairs. We chose for beds and Harris had to sleep with me. I said, do you prefer the inside or outside? That means you want to be inside the room or outside the room. I said I generally prefer to sleep inside a bed. That means I want to be inside the bed. You sleep on the floor. Harris said it is so. George said, what time shall I wake you fellow? Harris said, 7. I said no, 6, because I wanted to write some letters. Harris and I had a bit of row over it. But at last split the difference and said 6:30. So early morning, 6:30, they have to get up. 6:30 they have to get up. Wake up at 6:30. So finally they decided at 6:30 they will get up. George made no answer. We found on going over that he had been asleep for some time. So we faced the park where we could tumble into it on getting out in the morning and went to bed ourselves. And then next morning 6:30 they thought they will get ready and start their journey. So up to 12:50 they were packing, and hours of packing we had seen. It was very funny. Understood? So now you have to read the lesson carefully. It is a funny lesson. While reading you will come to know how it is. What is the packing, what the boys have done, and how much trouble Montmorency had done over there. Clear to you? Okay, thank you.